To a Muslim, the ultimate goal in life is a pilgrimage to Mecca. To a Catholic, it's to be blessed by the Pope in St. Peter's Square. To a Jew, it's to pray at the Wailing Wall in Jerusalem. But if the things you worship are speed, style, and just sheer flamboyance, then your ultimate goal might be to make a pilgrimage to Marinello in Italy. That's the home of Ferrari. If ever there was a place where style counts, it's here in Italy. From Michelangelo, the awesome beauty of the Sistine Chapel. From Verdi, the high passion of grand opera. And from Ferrari, the rapture of motion, the sheer luxury of owning one of the most spectacularly impractical cars on earth. Ferraris aren't for going somewhere, they're just for going.
If you want to go from London to Milano by the road, traveling, comfortable, you don't buy a Ferrari. But if you want to amuse yourself, to drive in something you really feel like a wild animal, that's what the people buy the Ferrari.
They look the car like a young, pretty woman.
Like a beautiful woman?
Beautiful, aggressive and sportive. So like some kind of beautiful woman.
To talk of rubber and steel as if it were flesh and blood, and to give a mechanical thing a gender, may seem strange to a lot of people. But to the Italians, it's perfectly natural. Do you think your cars have sex appeal?
The Ferrari, yes. I think it's very important for a Ferrari to have a sex appeal.
Giovanni Razzelli, the chief executive of the Ferrari Motor Company and high priest of Marinello, a small town in the north of Italy. Here at the Ferrari factory, they say cars are born rather than made. Patted and caressed by the hands of craftsmen, farmers and housewives. At Marinello, they're simply maintaining tradition, like the great masters, still creating beautiful shapes. When you build a new Ferrari, what is the most important thing?
First of all, safe, high performances. Second one, good styling.
It's a deceptively modest place to look at, but there's nothing modest about the cars that come out of here or the attitude of the people who make them. It's unashamedly elitist. Here at Marinello, they have a saying, Ferrari only competes with itself. They say, while others make cars, we make Ferraris. In other words, they're all exclusive. So exclusive, it seems, that even top company executives don't qualify for ownership. There are none of the big red cars in this executive car park. Do you own a Ferrari? Do you drive one?
No. I drive Ferrari for testing a new car, for testing the production car.
But you're the general manager and you don't have a Ferrari?
No.
Why not?
I am not the owner of the factory. I am only the general manager.
In a country where the way something looks can be just as important as how it works, Ferrari is very much at home. Italy and this most Italian of cars sit very comfortably together. But to some experts, that obsession with style sometimes has its drawbacks.
Because Ferrari is its own worst enemy, and many times it actually defeats itself.
Champion racing driver John Surtees. 20 years ago, he drove a Ferrari to a world title.
Ferrari and Italy is something which they are the leaders in fashion and design. I mean, whether it's fashion for the ladies or whether it's building a beautiful building, not always necessarily practical, but they build beautiful things.
When you buy a Ferrari, what are you paying for? The name, prestige, or is it the best sports car that money can buy?
Listen, first of all, I don't buy a Ferrari because I'm not enough rich to buy a Ferrari. But the people who buy a Ferrari, I believe they buy a mistress.
Journalist Francolini. Few people understand Ferrari better than him. He spent a lifetime writing about the car.
So the mistress can be difficult?
Yeah, sure. Sure.
And a tremendous finish to the season, really, for Ferrari.
To many Australians, Ferrari became more than just that romantic notion out of Italy when the red cars beat the field in the Australian Grand Prix in Adelaide.
Glenn Dix is out. There he is with the checkered flag. Watch his technique and watch the technique of Gerhard Berger.
And therein lies the very heart of this Italian legend. Ferrari, the racing car.
2 Grand Prix for Ferrari.
Without the race car, without racing, would there be a Ferrari today?
No.
I can't imagine. It's impossible to imagine Ferrari, Enzo Ferrari himself, doing something different of motor racing.
To the Italians, he's a modern-day Roman emperor, Enzo Ferrari, the man who set out to conquer the world with his blazing red chariots.
A legend. I think that Enzo Ferrari could be a legend forever.
Is it true that he's like Caesar?
If you mean with Caesar, a very special, strong man, yes.
It all began 70 years ago. A young Enzo fulfills his childhood dream to race fast cars.
I said, why couldn't I be a racing driver one day? All my actions have been a consequence of this adolescent dream.
But the dream changed. Enzo gave up driving cars and started building them. The name Ferrari became a motor car. Its emblem, the prancing horse. To some, a national identity.
All in all, I mean, he's done a tremendous amount for Italy and certainly for motorsport. And the big thing is that there is a man who's very much an individual. If he feels off, then he's hell to live with. When he feels good, then he's fantastic to be with. But he expresses this in his cars. During the times he's fantastic, he'll design a beautiful car, or at least he'll have a beautiful car designed. In the times when he's not so good, I think he turns out some of the ugliest ones.
The Emperor is now 90, and his chariots have won over 5,000 races.
He put his products on the track, he tested them, he tried to win, and he also put those products very nearly into the hands of the public as well.
Very nearly?
Very nearly, because obviously you couldn't quite go along and put a total race car, but you had the nearest thing out ever when you bought a Ferrari to actually what you saw out there on the racetrack.
What was built for the racetrack changes its clothes for the road. Tomorrow, it may take some lady to the opera. Today, it's playing a tune of its own at the hands of a Ferrari test driver. She's called the Testarossa. That's Italian for redhead. And she's some lady. Easy to fall in love with, but a little scary to handle. If you're game, she'll take you to 290 kilometres an hour. But the redhead doesn't come cheap. The price tag in Australia, $400,000. Speed and power, a Ferrari has lots of that. But getting from home to the office every morning, would you use a Ferrari to do that?
No, sure not. Sure not. In fact, it's impossible. The Ferrari, I'm always surprising. A lot of American people buy the Ferrari, you know, because it's impossible to use. In America, with the 55 miles speed limit all around, it's impossible to use the Ferrari. They really do enjoy the Ferrari. Ferrari has a car to drive quick, fast, and enjoy.
So to enjoy a Ferrari in some countries, you have to break the speed limit.
Yeah, sure. Well, 55 miles per hour for a normal Ferrari is the first gear or second gear.
The occasion, the Ferrari Motor Company's 40th anniversary, and Enzo Ferrari throws a birthday party as only the Emperor could. A get-together on a Grand Prix circuit. The guests, just about every famous name that ever got behind the wheel of a Ferrari. For old Ferrari drivers, and maybe those who've even just dreamed of owning one, when it's time to go, then heaven must surely be something like this. Almost every Ferrari that's ever gone round, all in the one place at the same time. Old or new, this is where they've always come from. The factory that Enzo built in that little town called Marinello. It's definitely not your typical production line. You see, at Ferrari, they still believe in that old-fashioned notion that what's made by hand is made well. They make in a year what General Motors or Ford turn out in a day. Mr. Razzelli, can you ever see the day when Ferraris will be mass-produced?
It's possible.
Never?
Never.
It's like you'd imagine the Italians would make anything that's good, with a lot of love and flair. Monterossi is a tailor. He'll tell you he used to make suits for men. At Ferrari, he makes dresses for elegant ladies. This man will tell you his work is really a dream. Do you ever dream of owning the car that you built?
Yeah, oh yes. It's always a dream for me.
And this man says he's got the best job in Italy.
On the mind of the Italians, Ferrari represents Italy. You know, that's one goal nobody ever reached before.
As we said, if the things you worship are speed, style and flamboyance, then a visit to Marinello is like a pilgrimage. But here, they go even further. They say if Ferrari is a religion, then Marinello is its Vatican.
It's not a Vatican in sense of power, it's Vatican in sense of love.
And if Enzo Ferrari could be called the Pope of motor cars, he might say he's not really selling cars, he's bestowing Ferraris on the deserving few, like so many blessings.
Hello, I'm Tara Brown. Thanks for watching 60 Minutes Australia. Subscribe to our channel now for brand new stories and exclusive clips every week. And don't miss out on our extra minutes segments and full episodes of 60 Minutes on 9now.com.au and the 9Now app.